Good morning, honorable members. Good morning, colleagues, committee
Recording in
staff.
progress.
Sorry,
Morning,
I'm
Chair.
just running 1 minute late here for connection. If you will please excuse me. In the meantime,
Morning, Chair.
morning, honorable Mpaka. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the right gadget. If you'll please excuse me. In the meantime, can I ask Mr. Ngoma to just put up the notice of the meeting as well as the agenda for this meeting?
Thank you, Chair. The notice is is on screen. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ngoma. Honorable members, let me welcome you to this meeting, which is the first meeting of the subcommittee that has been appointed to deal with matters relating to the appointment of ICASA councillors. I think that honorable members will remember that we had received notice that 4 councillors at ICASA had their term coming to an end in November. And it was felt that we should start the process as early as possible to fill those vacancies, given the fact that this year is generally very short due to the upcoming elections, where I think most of us will be concentrating on, perhaps from June or so this year. So this is a setup meeting. The subcommittee is established in terms of the rules of the National Assembly by the Portfolio Committee. And can I just ask Mr. Ngoma, before you go into the first agenda item, just to indicate the members of the subcommittee? Thanks.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good morning to you and good morning to honorable members. Chairperson, the subcommittee is constituted of 7 members. That would be the chairperson, Ms. Sangoni Diko, Mr. Mkhacha, Mr. Subrathi from the African National Congress, from the DA, Ms. Podlani, and then from the MK Party, it's Mr. Crown Prince Nchabeleng, and then from the IFP, which represents smaller parties, it's Mr. Ngobese, and then it's Ms. Tsilisha from the EFF. Those are the 7 members, Chairperson, that form part of the subcommittee. On the platform, we have 5 of the members. Mr. Subrathi had indicated that he would join us a few minutes late. And that is the apology I have. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ngoma. Is that the only apology?
That would be the only apology I have. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, members. I hope, that's a little bit better. With that being said, then I think I extend my welcome to you all once again, and then I ask for the mover for the adoption of the agenda as presented by Mr. Ngoma. Mr. Ngoma, you didn't speak to the items on the agenda, but if you could just put it up again. I'm so worried about putting on my video. I look like Olise in red.
I was about to say that, Chairperson, but you know, I wanted you to continue because I'm admiring the red.
Thank you.
That's the 2 agenda items, Chair. The first one being the briefing by the Secretariat on the roadmap of the ICASA Council process, which will also include the distribution of the documents to members in relation to the appointment process, and also, Chair, the consideration and adoption of the proposed draft program of the subcommittee. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you very much. With the agenda then that's presented, may I have a mover for the adoption of the agenda? Thank you, Honorable Bodlani. May I have a seconder, please?
Second, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mkhacha and Honorable Chabeleng. Let's immediately get into the first item. Then the intention, and members, I do apologize. We had to find space for this meeting. We know that all parties have caucus at 10. We'll be done long before that. In fact, I'm sure we can even finish before 9 o'clock. But this is to really just get the ball rolling in terms of this process. So I'm going to ask Mr. Ngoma to lead the presentation from the Secretariat in terms of process, where we are. As part of this process, as he indicated, we will be sharing the master list that has been received from all of the nominations that have come through. We made a request to ICASA in particular, directed at the Chair of Council, wanting to understand, the current skills that they've got within the organization, as well as the current skills that they believe that the organization needs to be supplemented by. This is obviously in red with the legislation that is governing the appointment of councillors, so that when members get the master list and we prepare for the shortlisting, at least you've got a bit of background and sense of what the status quo is. So, Mr. Ngoma, over to you.
Thank you once again, Chairperson and members, for that opportunity to present the road map, as I had indicated, of the appointment of the ICASA councillors. Chair, I'm just not sure what's my screen doing now to me. Apologies, Chair. I hope the document is on screen and is visible for members to see.
Yes, please put it on presentation mode, though.
Oh, I'm not sure why it's doing this, Chair. Chairperson and honorable members, just to start this presentation with explaining the Act and in particular the section that guides this appointment process. First of all, Chair, it's safe to indicate that the council consists of 9 members, chairperson and 8 other councillors, which are appointed by the minister upon the approval of the National Assembly, and that is done according to the following principles: participation by the public in the nomination process, transparency and openness, and the publication of a short list of candidates for appointment with due regard to subsection 3 and section 6. Chair, this section 1C in particular requires that once the committee has shortlisted the candidates, that the names of such candidates be published, which we normally do in the parliamentary pages, and also through the publishing of a statement on the media statement on the shortlisted candidates. However, Chairperson, as part of a public participation process, this committee, the subcommittee chairs, what we do is not just to publish the names, but we also invite the members of the public to make comments on the names of the shortlisted candidates. And then, Chairperson, this section 1A, subsection A, speaks on the process that follows after the interviews, that the National Assembly submits to the minister a list of suitable candidates, at least 1.5 times the number of councillors to be appointed. Chair, this just indicates that if we have one vacancy in the council, we normally submit 2 names, which the minister would then appoint from those 2 names, one candidate. So if we have 2 vacancies, we'd often submit 3 names, and so it goes. And then, Chair, as this section continues, then there's clause 5, subsection 1, section 1A, subsection B, indicates that the National Assembly may invite technical experts to assist in the selection, evaluation, and appointment process of councillors. And the experts contemplated in paragraph B may include a person with knowledge of and experience in the industry, a person with a legal background, knowledge of the ICT sector and competition-related matters, as well as an academic in the field of communications, a representative from the labor sector and or a representative of consumer interest. I think, Chair, you've spoken to this in your opening remarks when you indicated that we would have consulted with the chairperson of the ICASA Council, requesting that he provides the committee with the information of the required skills in the council. And Chair, to move forward, 1AB of the Act also indicates that the minister must recommend to the National Assembly from the list contemplated in subsection 1A, which I've spoken to chairperson, persons who he or she proposes to appoint to serve on the council. What happens, Chair, as I had explained earlier, once we send, for instance, in this instance, we are appointing four, we will be filling the vacancies of 4 councillors, which means that we will be sending 6 names to the minister for consideration. So the minister would then appoint the 4 candidates from those 6 names, and he would write back to the National Assembly, in particular to this committee, to indicate that he's now appointing these 4 candidates, and it will be up to that committee whether it approves or rejects the submission of the minister. Section B indicates that, Chair, if the National Assembly is not satisfied that the persons recommended for appointment by the minister comply with subsection 3, the National Assembly may request the minister to review his or her recommendation, Chair, and that one is just an error, Chair. And then it just says, Chair, following the approval then once the committee then approves such a recommendation by the minister for appointment, the minister will then proceed to appoint the chairperson and other councillors by notice in the Gazette. And to move forward, Chair, it's just a section that explains that in the absence of the chairperson, the remaining councillors must, from their number, elect an acting chairperson who, while he or she acts, may perform all the functions of the chairperson. And persons appointed to the council must be persons who, number A, are committed to fairness, freedom of expression, openness, and accountability on the part of those entrusted with governance of a public service. And when viewed collectively, there must be representative of a representative of a broad cross-section of the population of the Republic and possess suitable qualifications, expertise, and experience in the fields of, amongst others, broadcasting, electronic communications and postal policy or operations, public policy development, electronic engineering, law, information technology, content in any form, consumer protection, education, economics, finance, or any other relevant expertise or qualification. And a councillor appointed under this section must, before he or she begins to perform his or her functions, take an oath or affirm that he or she is committed to fairness, freedom of expression, openness, and accountability, and will uphold and protect the Constitution and the laws of the Republic, including this Act and the underlying statutes. Chairperson, it also, Chair, if I can then look at section further, it does indicate that a person may not be, this is section 6 that speaks to disqualification of persons for appointment to the ICASA Council. It indicates that a person may not be appointed as a councillor if he or she is not a citizen of the Republic, is not permanently a resident in the Republic, is a public servant or other holder of any other remunerated position, is a member of Parliament, any provincial legislature, or any municipal council, is an office bearer or employee of any party, movement, or organization of a party political nature. My apologies, or his or her family member has a direct or indirect financial interest in the electronic communications, postal, and broadcasting industries. Continue further, Chair, or his or her business partner or associate holds an office in or with or is employed by any person or body, whether corporate or unincorporated, which has an interest contemplated in paragraph F, or is an unrehabilitated insolvent, has been declared by a court to be mentally ill or disordered, or has at any time been convicted, whether in the Republic or elsewhere, of theft, fraud, forgery, or uttering a forged document, perjury, an offense in terms of the Prevention of Corruption Act 1958, the Corruption Act of 1992, Part 1 to 4, or Section 17, 20, or 21, insofar as it relates to the aforementioned offenses of Chapter 2 of the Prevention and Combating of Corrupt Activities Act of 2004, or any other offense involving dishonesty, or an offense under this act or underlying statutes. Those are some of the sections of disqualification, Chair. And to continue, whether a person has been sentenced after the commencement of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa Act 200 of 1993 to a period of imprisonment of no less than 1 year without the option of a fine, or has at any time been removed from an office or trust on account of misconduct. Any person who is subject to disqualification contemplated in Section 1B to I may be nominated for appointment as a councillor, but may only be appointed if at the time of such appointment he or she is no longer subject to that disqualification. In simple terms, Chairperson, making an example, those disqualifications that are listed from B to I, they can still get nominated, they can still undergo the interview process, but before they are appointed to the ICASA Council, they must then resign from those positions if anyone's holding one of the positions that are listed in the section of this Act, Chair. And Chairperson, that would be it in terms of the constitution of the board and the disqualification in terms of the Act. Now, Chairperson, I earlier indicated that the currently ICASA has 9 councillors. Sorry, my apologies, Chair, has 9 councillors. To start with, Chair, it will be the Chairperson, who was appointed in 2024 as Mr. Ramosi, and Chairperson, the councillors are appointed for a 4-year term, but the Chairperson serves a 5-year term. In this instance, Mr. Ramosi's term is expected to end in May 2029. Just a brief background on Mr. Ramosi. He is a middle-aged black male. He holds a bachelor's degree in electronic systems engineering from the University of Essex, BTech Higher National Diploma in Electronic Systems Engineering from Anglia Higher Education Institute, now Ruskin University, also Transnet Executive Development Program from Gibbs, and International Executive Development Program from Witwatersrand University. He is a qualified electronic systems engineer and an information technology certified professional. Mr. Ramosi has over 3 decades of working experience in the ICT sector, ranging from telecommunications, satellite, lotteries, and broadcasting. And Mr. Ramosi has an extensive leadership portfolio which extends to executive positions in both public and private sectors. And Chairperson, as the Chairperson, in line with Section 4.5 of ICASA Act, the Chairperson provides overall leadership of the Council. He manages the activities of councillors and also performs functions assigned to him in terms of relevant and applicable laws. And then, Chair, to move to the second councillor, Ms. Thabisa Faye. She's one of the councillors whose term is coming to an end in November 2026, which is why we are looking at the 4 vacancies. She's a 38-year-old black female.
Mr. Ngoma, can you hold on? Honorable Bodleni, I see you have your hand up.
Yes, Chair, thank you. I'm not sure why we are going into the CVs of the people that we are trying to now look at the CVs. If you could just get the context, I'm a bit lost on that, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Bodleni. I think Mr. Ngoma, knowing Mr. Ngoma, went a bit overboard. What we required was a profile, which could have been done in a table format, of the current councillors of ICASA, where it indicates issues of West demographics, yes, ne? So how many males do we currently have? How many females do we have? And at a high level, what their competencies are and the areas where especially the members whose term is coming to an end, they serve. This is because I think as it was outlined or it's in the document, they are divided into specific, so somebody will be responsible for postal, somebody will be responsible for broadcasting, which would help us then also when we're going through the shortlist to get a sense of the skill set that's required. I do agree we don't need to go into detail of everybody, Mr. Ngoma. I think you have provided us this. You may want to, and I know you haven't done it in your document, you may just want to get us those demographics. I remember the last time we were appointing ICASA councillors, we had an issue of gender, and at that time, the council was majority women, and I think it was the four females whose term is now coming to an end. So it was those things, Honorable Botlani, that we wanted just to be brought to the fore. This document is available. I think it's been shared with members of this committee. So members are able to just go into the details of the councillors. We don't have to go through each one by one. Thank you for that intervention, Honorable Botlani. Please proceed, Honorable Ngoma. Mr. Ngoma.
Thank you, Chair. Safe to indicate, Chairperson, that as you have mentioned, this information will be made also made available to members. We put it on in the presentation, but like we will make it available to the members, and that includes, Chair, the information you just spoke to now regarding the boards that members would be serving in. We will make that information available, Chairperson. So, Chair, if then I can proceed, Chair, with the hope that the presentation is appearing on the screen, Chair. Thank you. Chair, on the ATC of the 12th of February, there was a referral which contained a letter which was dated the 26th of January, which would have been received from the Minister of Communications and Digital Technologies. And in the letter, the Minister informed the Speaker of the National Assembly of the 4 imminent expiry of vacancies as a result of the expiry of the term of office of 4 councillors, and requested the National Assembly to initiate the recruitment process in terms of Section 5 of the ICASA Act, which was outlined earlier, Chair. And the 4 ICASA councillors whose term of office will expire is Ms. Catherine Tigeledi Moshi, Ms. Namputu Nontombana. Their terms would expire on the 31st of October 2026. And then it's Ms. Ndombiza Sitole and Ms. Tabisa Faye, whose terms will expire on the 30th of November of this year, Chairperson. And Chair, the ATC was tabled to the committee, and the committee granted us permission to publish an advertisement calling for the nomination of persons in terms of the Act. And the committee chair also established a 7-member committee, which I had outlined earlier. Chair, we did publish the advertisement in all 11 official languages. It was in 1 national newspaper, 3 regional newspapers, and 7 community newspapers. Safe to indicate, Chair, that this was also confirmed during the oversight visit when we met with one of the community newspapers, that indeed they do receive advertisements from Parliament. Chair, the advertisement was also published in the parliamentary website and all parliamentary social media platforms. Today, Chair, we have, by the time of closing, Chair, we had received 151 nominations, and they are contained in the master list of nominees, as well as the summarized CVs, as well as the full CVs of candidates, also including the full nominations of each candidate, which will be made available to the members after this meeting, Chairperson. Chair, the way forward, our expectation after this meeting today, as it is, they've presented the roadmap, and we will also be tabling a proposed program for consideration and adoption to the committee. Would also request perhaps during the discussion that in preparation for the shortlist meeting, the committee agrees to a number of candidates that is going to be shortlisting for the 4 vacancies, taking into consideration that 6 names at the end will have to be sent to the minister. And then, Chair, we have a proposed date for shortlisting of candidates for interviews, 29 May next week. It will reflect on the program. We have, and thereafter, Chair, if that interview, if the committee shortlist on that day would require about a week and a half to conduct the candidates and prepare for those interviews, whilst at the same time we'll be conducting the relevant qualifications check, and as well as the relevant qualification verifications, as well as the personnel suitability checks that we conduct with the State Security Agency on the shortlisted candidates. Chairperson, we have provisionally set aside 3 days to conduct interviews of shortlisted candidates. These 3 days, Chair, we worked on, we benchmarked the previous process where we're also appointing, filling the 4 vacancies, and we used 3 days for the interviews. And Chair, we're looking at 29 June 2026 for deliberations on the outcome of the interviews and the possible adoption of the committee of the first report. I'm saying of the first report, Chairperson, on the basis that this is the report that goes to the National Assembly with the, for an example, with the 6 names that the committee would have recommended to the minister, and then Chairperson, that will be debated in the National Assembly, adopted, sent to the minister. Minister will consider, and then from that 6 will appoint 4 and write back to Parliament, and it will come back to this committee for approval, as I had indicated in my earlier presentation, Chair. And then the committee will adopt a report, either supporting or not supporting the candidates as recommended for appointment by the minister. Chairperson, I think that would be the end of it, and we would like to thank you from the team, but I would still invite my colleagues, if there's anything that they feel that I would have left out, to come in and add. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ngoma. Are there any additions, colleagues from the Secretariat? No. Mr. Ngoma, can I ask that you also circulate the advertisement that would have gone out? I'm sure you did right at the beginning of the process, but to members of the subcommittee, so they have that to look back to. And then just for clarity, before I open for questions for the members, the program as presented does not seem to make reference to the intervals at which we need to brief the portfolio committee. Because the first time you speak about a report, you're speaking about a report to the National Assembly. I would think that we need to at least brief the full portfolio committee, either before the interviews with the shortlisted candidates, and then the names that are being proposed for the report. So if we could please just make sure that that is included in there as well. But otherwise, let me just check, honorable members, that is the process as presented. Are there any questions for clarity? Okay, silence means consent. Honorable Bodlani?
Thanks, Chair. Chair, I think maybe if we could just be clarified on if we are going to rank the candidates in order of preference, and what rights does the minister have to divert from that? Is it just going to choose from that 4, or are we ranking in order of preference? Or is that a conversation that we can have when we actually start the process? That clarity would help.
Thanks, Honorable Bodlani. You mean, so of the 6, when we present to the minister the 6, do we rank them in order of priority?
Yes, that's my question.
Okay. Mr. Ngoma, do you want to come in on a response?
Thank you, Chairperson. Chair, I think I will throw that back at the subcommittee. The subcommittee can decide on that, Chairperson, when we are preparing to adopt a report for recommending the candidates. But safe to indicate that in the previous process, it was not the case. It was just the 6 names that were submitted. Chairperson, whilst at that, I see Ms. Bodlani is giving a thumbs up. Just to respond to something that you would have raised earlier regarding the reporting to the committee, safe to indicate that, honorable members, this subcommittee reports to the Portfolio Committee on Communication. So even during shortlist, there's normally a progress report that we adopt, which then speaks to the publishing of the names of shortlisted candidates. So when we're doing the shortlist, we will be adopting a progress report with the names of the shortlisting candidates as the committee. The subcommittee will come up with the names and then take that recommendation to the committee, and then the committee will adopt the report, and that report will be the report of the portfolio committee. And then, Chair, that will also apply when we finalize the process, as the subcommittee will deliberate on the outcome of the interviews, recommend the 6 names, whether in a particular order or not, and then we'll take that to the committee, and the committee will then adopt the report on the finalization of the process. So all the work of the subcommittee, Chair, will be taken to will be reported to the mother committee. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable Potlane?
Did you say mother committee? Chair, with the applications that we have received, what methodology do we then use to determine how many we shortlist? I don't think we got to that. And at which point do we do that? I'm guessing it's not at this meeting, it will be at our first meeting, so that at least we come prepared in terms of what the number is that we are going to shortlist. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Potlane. I wanted to get to that. So on the first question that you had asked, I agree that maybe it's a discussion that we can have later while the process is underway. But I seem to remember that in the last interview cycle, I think we also did it with MDDA. We did sort of rank, in the sense that there were candidates that were then recommended by all political parties. You remember there was a point where we had asked them to do a table, and then, you know, a candidate that appeared in the list of all political parties would go through, and so forth and so forth. But it's a discussion that we can have. As far as the shortlisting, I wanted to propose that we take a formula that says for each position we should interview at least 3 people. I'm hoping 3 people is broad enough to cover, you know, as many people as we are possibly needing to shortlist. I haven't gone through the master list. So if we are looking for 4 candidates, we should at least interview a minimum of 4 times 3, which is 12. Am I right? 4 times 3 is 12. However, there's no limitation on the number. So the process that we wanted to suggest from here is that Mr. Ngoma circulates the master list. Each party goes off and comes back with their at least proposed 12. In the meeting that will be held next week, we will motivate those candidates. If we end up with a short list of 12, all well and good. If we end up with a short list of 18, we will also take that, but we'll obviously just need to, you know, convince one another members, so we don't have an open-ended short list that becomes a long list. So that is the process we wanted to propose. Honorable Potlane?
Thanks, Chair. Chair, I think the reality is, while we have over 100 applicants, some of them would not even meet the threshold. Is it that not prudent for the Secretariat to maybe sift out people that don't meet the bare minimum requirements for this, and then our process kicks in? Then we can have a conversation about how many we are going to interview. Sitting where I'm sitting, I think 12 is too low, but it's a conversation that we can have once we see the number of people that would have fallen off by not meeting the basic requirements. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you very much. I think we can do that. We don't need to belabor that point, but for the purposes of completeness and transparency in the process, I request that the master list is sent as is, and then there's an indication of which candidates do not meet the threshold, so that we don't have questions of what happened to the CV and what. So Mr. Ngoma, if you look at the advert, what we had asked for those people who don't meet the qualifying criteria, you indicate on the master list that they don't meet the criteria, but you keep them there, and then we will work on the rest. When can we expect the master list to be circulated, Mr. Ngoma?
Chairperson, we're hoping to circulate it immediately after the meeting, but I'll just gather the team so that we can look at the proposal that's just been made now. And Chairperson, I don't see why we cannot send the list before end of business today to the members. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, are there any other issues? The screening process, Mr. Ngom. Now, I just need to check. You said that you will be screening and they would, so screening instead of security vetting. I want us to use the right terminology because that has the potential to delay the process. So will you be screening the shortlisted candidates or the recommended candidates?
Thank you, Chair, for that question. Chair, we would be screening the shortlisted candidates. We normally try immediately after the committee has done the shortlist to conduct the candidates and request the information that we often require to conduct those screening. And Chair, we run it concurrently with like we run it during that 1.5 week. And Chair, we know that there will be interviews after that, and we're hoping that possibly during the period of interviews would have the results back or would be close to getting the results back. But we should have the results back, Chairperson, before the committee can make a recommendation on the appointment of candidates. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. And you have engaged SSA on this already?
Chairperson, all I can say right now, Chairperson, in relation to these matters, we have a very good working relationship with the State Security Agency. So they were always on board. Thank you very much, Chairperson. And to respond to Ms. Bodlani's question on the chat, we always propose that the interviews in particular and the deliberations are physical and will be guided by the committee after on the shortlisting day on where to hold the interviews. We normally look at the shortlisted candidates and look and consider all the issues of the finances and all that in terms of setting up those interviews and then advise, but will be guided by the committee during the shortlist on where exactly to hold the interviews. Previously, we held them at ICASA head office in Johannesburg. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. Honorable members, then with those issues clarified, can I just check if everybody is covered or if there are any further issues that need clarification? Honorable Alicia?
I think I just wanted to register, Chair, that I am unhappy that you change your outfit.
The red is still there. No, it was looking too red. I felt lost. Thanks, Honorable Alicia. Okay, I'm not seeing any other hands. So I think we are done. The next meeting is on the 29th, which is what day? Next week, Friday. Mr. Ngom.
Yes, Chairperson, yes, it is next week, Friday. Chair, it's quite a busy day. There's also training taking place on that Friday morning. So we've also set it up for the morning from 9 till 10 o'clock with the hope that the committee would be able to, the subcommittee would be able to conduct its business within that allocated time. Chair, I should have done this perhaps in the beginning of the meeting. I think it's important that, Chair, we inform the committee that we do have a graduate training program that has been allocated to assist in the work of the committee, Ms. Melissa Kaba, and she is on the platform, Chair, and I would really like her to switch on the camera for members to see her. I'm not sure if she was introduced in the committee, but she will be working very close with me during this process. And I don't want members, when maybe they receive information from Ms. Kaba and they are not aware of who the person is. Ms. Kaba will be with us for the next 3 years as a graduate trainee program. Thank you as a graduate program trainee. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Ms. Khaba, it's your time to shine. Can we see you and you introduce yourself to us? Melissa, you have not started training, Mr. Ngom.
Hello, I'm here.
Where are you?
I'm here, sorry.
Is your video on?
Okay, I will switch it on in a moment. Here I am. Wait, sorry, I'm just here. Here I am.
Hello, pretty girl.
Hello, how are you, Chair?
Very well, thanks. And yourself?
I'm good, thank you.
What is your name? What do you do? Where did you go to school? All of those nice things. The members are so pleased to meet you.
Okay, my name is Melissa Kaba. I went to school at the University of Stellenbosch. I studied LLB. I graduated in March 2025. And then I did practical legal training for a few months. And now I am here. This is my first time being employed.
All right, you're welcome. Ms. Elisha will officially welcome you for us. Honorable Elisha.
Thank you
Maybe
very
we also
much,
get to see
Chairperson.
Honorable Alicia today.
Sorry, Honorable Podlani?
Maybe we'll also get to see you today.
I apologize. I apologize, but Ms. Kaba, you will see me soon. My name is Sikolise Qilishe. On behalf of the committee, we welcome you. It is nice meeting you. We hope we'll have a good and smooth working relationship with you. Hopefully, by the end of the 3 years, you would have gotten what you are looking for. Thank you very much, Chair. I think I hope I represented you well.
You have. Thank you very much. Welcome, Ms. Khab. Mr. Ngoma, are we done?
Chairperson, from my side, we're done. All I can assure the members is that we as the team will make sure that members have all the information that we promised to share with them in this meeting before the end of business today, so that they can start preparing for the shortlist. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Okay, and please can we just once more, we've had a lot of scheduling challenges in this term. I really want us to look at those dates read against the committee program. I know you did it, but also read against the parliamentary program. Already, I'm worried about this next week, Friday, that you're proposing. So maybe we can just have a short discussion, you and I, afterwards, and then we will circulate the final dates, because I do know there's also a constituency period coming up soon and so forth. So we just need to make sure that those matters are 100% aligned before we move. We had also indicated at some point that as the portfolio committee, we need to make more of an effort towards physical meetings. I know that it's been working for us that we're having virtual meetings, but there is a drive in Parliament to try and get all of us back in Cape Town meeting in Parliament, despite the venue changes. So where we can have physical meetings, let's look at doing that, but we can have that conversation. Honourable members, esteemed staff of Parliament, thank you so very much. I think that we can bring this meeting to a close and enjoy the rest of your day further. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I missed you yesterday anyway.
I was about to say it was a nice debate yesterday. Well done, colleagues. At least that part is done. Thank you so much.
I almost staged a protest to say, if the chairperson is not here, I'm not debating.
Bye.